Okay, I'm going to try to make this video. Excuse me, guys, I had something in my eye. I'm outdoors. But I really want to talk to you all about my personal take on the events that are occurring and whatnot. Couple of things, just jumping right into it. I really want, I really want Black people to learn to unify together. I understand the frustration is warranted, definitely, but I wish we would unify. And if something happens, remember that it's happening to not just males, but females. Remember to mention all the lives that have been taken, and not just, well, the LGBTQ community is talking about the vicious deaths that have happened in their community. The Black women are over here and they're remembering Breonna Taylor, while it's only a handful of Black men that remember her. And everybody is talking about George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. And all this stuff is very hurtful at the hands of those who are supposed to protect and serve. So we all have to sit up here and be on the same page, give everything the same energy as we should. Also, when it comes to voting, yes, I agree. Hold these politicians accountable. Nothing is handed to you just because you feel like it's someone's automatic choice or whatnot. But I also feel like make sure that you go out to the polls and you vote at your local elections. Next time in the future, when there are primaries, make sure that you point that same energy about what are these people doing for the Black community in the primary elections. And definitely make sure that you're holding the person who is up to go against Donald Trump accountable and ask him what he's doing and the effects thereof. Now, I agree. Please get out and vote no matter what. Pray about it. Choose the lesser of the evils and the ones that are on the same page as your moral and spiritual beliefs. But I also feel like, excuse me, I just ate, my bad. But I also feel like, by the same token, like, start thinking about these things early on and be more proactive instead of reactive, so that way it just doesn't come off as, okay, let's get aggressive at the last minute or this and that. Now, third, my take on rioting versus marching. I understand the riots. I understand that people are taking their frustrations and their inability to communicate out on other individuals. But I do say that there's a better way to exude that energy. And if you want to say, okay, well, we need to get someone's attention, I do feel like there's a better way than just burning the city down. I understand the comparison of rioting to bombing over because of 9/11. I do get that. And all that is a waste of resources, it's a waste of time. But I also feel like there needs to be a collective plan. There needs to be less chaos that's being added to the situation and more of a plan of action along with voting. It should be all phased to the point where each thing is coinciding with the other, not causing more detriment, not causing more taxes that are going to have to be raised in order to pay for things that have been destroyed, not causing more chaos, not causing more deaths, not causing more animosity. You know, I feel like the Black community, it is time, it is beyond time for us to be heard. But it's also a time to unite and specifically state what our desires are, what we want to see into play, and act upon that. If, for instance, you want to see better prison reform, then that needs to be stated to politicians and see how their plans of actions line up with that. If you want to see more funding being pushed in urban communities, well, how does that particular politician or individuals line up with that idea? Think about what it is that you want to see for your community as a whole, and see how that person's behavior, plan of action, and motivation lines up with these things. And lastly, I want to also put out a fourth thought. Stop saying that mixed people are not black. I understand they're two different races, but if you see that a mixed person is hurt, is identifying with black people, and there's not some fake stuff on some Doja Cat mess, but like they're actively out here fighting the power, helping to assist with the cause, stop trying to put them in their own category. I understand that a lot of times, and let's just be real, there is a huge colorism issue in the black community. There is even a sick fetish that a lot of black men, not all of you, because you all are just so handsome and wonderful when you want to be, but that some countryness and some black people come out in regards to mixtures. But by the same token, like for the mixed people who identify as black, has a lot of them look black, they don't have that generically mixed thing going on, then make sure you allow them to take part. Stop excluding. We are already excluded, so we know how that feels. Start being inclusive of people who are trying to fight the cause and be there for you. And that's just from a colorism take. There is so much that can be said about people who aren't black that are still helping to fight our cause. But definitely it bothers me when mixed people are excluded because they're mixed. Or, and I know black women, I know you're hurt. I myself am right there with you in being single. I hate to hear a black man have the audacity and boldness to feel like because you are chocolate, you don't measure up to some light skinned mixed woman or whatever the ideal look of mix should be. But know that if this mixed woman is relatable, if she's loving, if she's trying to be on one accord with you, she's not the problem. That ignorance that the other person is displaying is the problem. All right, I'm gonna chuck the deuces up, y'all. Do what you gotta do to alleviate yourself, but remember to make sure that alleviation is not hurting yourself, not hurting others, and is actually alleviation versus something that can grow into a bigger problem. Chucking them up. Bye.